Good day. My topic for Master of Arts in Education in Computer Education 508 Computer in School Curriculum 1 Teaching Computer Programming in School. So, the importance of understanding computer programming. The simplest way to explain computer programming is that it is a way of providing instruction to computers. So, we will be creating sets of instruction in terms of codes to instruct our computer to generate output or reports. These instructions tell the computer how to react and what it should do next. Then computer programming takes the form of code. Yes, the creator of the codes are the computer programmers, software developer, software engineer, and likes. A person who earns a computer programming or software development degree will be taught how to code in order to get a computer to perform their task. So sa atin po sa basic education, there are subjects like NC3 Java programming and NC3.NET programming. So under po sila sa TBL, ICT. So tinuturo po yan sa grade 11 and 12 and sometimes sa junior po is 9 and 10. So what is a code and what are programming languages? So every line of code is written in one of numerous programming languages, and most computer programmers know several computer programming languages. The top programming languages includes Java. Java is a programming language under Oracle, or the owner is Oracle. It is a general purpose po. So pwede po siya sa embedded software or embedded devices. Pwede rin po sa mga DVDs, sa net or internet, at saka sa mga Mac OS and Windows operating system. Pwede rin po siya sa Linux. So pwede po siyang write once and it can be viewed anywhere. So Java is a programming language developed from C language. Then next is C language. So C language can be used for software engineers in creating operating systems or mini or embedded devices. Then you can also create applications using C languages. Then yung upgraded version na po C++. So C++ is being taught in first year in colleges. So C++ came from C language also. Then you can use it for Windows development, mobile development, web development, and creation of application like Adobe. So Adobe in Windows was created using C++. Then a newer version is C#. So C# is also a product of C language. So C# is a general purpose programming language also. So I'm also using C# because it's easy to learn. So you can use C# for mobile development in Android or iOS using Xamarin. Then you can also use it in creating web applications, then desktop applications also. So if you look at the syntax, they came from C language, and C# are almost identical to Java, but Java has a IDE or integrated development which are free, like Eclipse and I forgot the other one. Then C# has its integrated development environment using Visual Studio. Then PHP. So PHP is a free programming language. Also, the syntax are almost the same as C language. Uh, then it is used for web development. You can create uh, uh, website using C Sharp ay PHP with its framework. So marami po siya mga framework na pwedeng gamitin na libre. Then next is Python. Python is can be used for web, then desktop and Android development, but most programmer using Python uses for artificial intelligence and data analytics. So PHP and C Sharp can, or even Java, you can create artificial intelligence or machine learning apps. Then JavaScript. JavaScript is used for web designing, and there are several frameworks in JavaScript like Angular, Node.js, and others. Then there is Ruby or Ruby for Rails. It is also used for web development. So these are the few web programming or computer programming languages being used today. Currently, in the top mark is Python, then JavaScript, then C Sharp, Java, and PHP. There are many factors to consider when deciding which programming language to use for any given subject. Some questions the programmer may consider includes the following. So, ito mga factors daw in deciding what language you will be using or studying. Is there sufficient support? So, pag sinabing sufficient support, marami bang gumagamit online, or yung developer or yung vendor, does the language or application is being supported for any particular language. So in open source like Java, PHP, Python, so marami po tayong programmer support, so constantly being updated and creating frameworks. Then pag vendors po, close source, ang nagiging ano po dyan, provider is yung mismong owner, like C Sharp or Visual C++ that are products of Microsoft. So there are also some programmers who help support the vendors. Then what type of environment? So dito po tayo tumitingin dapat. So will the programming language be used in web development? Yan. So pinaka-versatile po is web development, because web development you can use it on desktop, mobile, or any operating system. Then mobile development, so there are two, si iOS, para sa iOS. Usually in using or developing iOS, you can use Object-C or Fluffer. Then sa Android naman po, pwedeng si Android Studio or si Xamarin. And doon po malalaman kung ano yung programming language na gagamitin nyo sa type of environment. Then, does the language need to be adaptable to new hardware? Yes. Every time there is a upgrade on devices or hardware, like in our mobile devices or our desktop computers, so dapat meron din siyang or adaptable yung ating programming language sa new hardware. So para hindi po siya ma-left behind. Then what specific requirements are there for tools or features? So the features you will need, Like in artificial intelligence, you can create app in desktop, Windows or iOS, or I mean Mac OS or Linux. Then you can also use AI for web programming, but the problem in web programming using AI technology is you need some web API that requires certain amount or recurring amount. Then in the desktop versions, you can buy that SDK or Software Development Kit or DLL or Dynamic Library in one-time payment. So you can choose which is better for you. Usually web API needs recurring payment po. Okay? Then the most or simplest way in showing programming is the loop. So loop is a statement to continuously return to that part of the statement to keep doing that code or instructions. So this is a sample of a loop command in Java. So yan po. So we need to declare something. So string means text. So we declare str as a string and the value or ang laman po niya is hello. Then we instructed the code to loop. So here is the loop. So makita nyo meron siyang for. So for po is nag-open tayo ng condition. So int stands for integer I equals to 0. So yung value ni I is 0. Then the second condition is I is less than str length. So pag sinabing str length po, yung length ng str. So ito po yung str. Ang laman po ni str is hello. So we could count the character. So meron po tayong hello. So age 1, E2, L3, L4 at saka L5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So input natin. So mag-start siya sa 0 is less than 5. Then we will be using I++. I++ stands for I equals to 0. Plus is for increment. So we'll be incrementing by 1. Then every time po siya mag-loop dito sa ating loop na to is magpiprint po siya ng yung character. So ito po siya, system out print str dot character I. So yan po yung sample ni Java using loop method. Then next, si JavaScript. So JavaScript is for web designing. So yan po sa kanya, si variable, string, or str equals to hello. Tingnan po yung mga syntax niya, parang magkamukha lang po sila. So var or variable I equals to 0, then I is less than str length, then I++ to increment, then ang command naman po is console, then log str is the value of hello, then ipiprint niya using character. So ito yung sample ni JavaScript. Next, PHP. So PHP is used for web programming. It is not as simple as Java and JavaScript looping a string. One way is to convert the string to an array. Then we can loop that array. Another way is to use helper method. So that's a command in Java. Substr or substring to get each character of the string. So meron po tayong method 1. So there is also the for, or this is the loop method for like our JavaScript and Java. So meron po rin tayong string. So hindi na kailangan declare yung variable. So dito automatic na pinilagay yung value. So string, so meron siyang $, I equals to 0. So laman ni string I is 0. Then, gagawa tayo ng another condition to continuously loop to that command. So, dito is string I or 0 is less than count array. So, it will count the array. Then, string I na naman tayo para mag plus plus. So, yung array po, it's an array of strings. Then, we will be printing it. Sa iba is console. Dito naman is echo. Echo is like print also. So, echo, string array. So, dun sa array na yon i-count natin. So, sa atin is 0. Then, nag-add tayo ng 1. So, ang mapiprint dito is age. Then, maglulup ulit yung E, then L, then L, then O. So, that is method 1 using loop. Then, meron naman tayong isa pang method using PHP. So, from our previous programming codes, meron din po siyang for each. Lalo na kung naging ang foundation is C language. So, dito, we declare our string str, hello. Then, we will split it using split character into an array. So, i-split po yung laman ni hello to an array. So, array starts from 0 to 4. So, nag-start po pala yung array. Nakalimutan ko sabihin is, pag nag-array po tayo, nag-start sa 0. Then, for each array as value, so, dito maglulungan tayo. Ang laman ni array is kukunin at lalagay sa value. So, yung unang value is age. So, ikunin nyo yung age. Then, it will loop until it reach the last character na O. So, this is PHP version in computer programming. Then, next is Java. I see C# po. So, C#, you can create loop without entering the conditions. So, dito po, ayan, maglulup po yan. Usually po, ang gagawin sa loop dito is infinite. So, ito yung sample ni C#. Then, next is Visual Basic. So, dito naman po, iba yung niya, syntax. Hindi siya nagmula sa C language. So, nag-start po siya sa basic. So, basic is another programming language that is also used in the 1990s or 80s. Yes, 80s to 90s. So, dito po, iba yung niya, itsura. So, dito, ang ginagamit niya is do. Hindi po siya next or for each or yung mga derivatives ni C language. So, dito, do while counter. So, counter is less than or equal ng 100. So, dito, num text counter. So, it will use the method counter plus 1. So, every time magano po ito, dadagdagan po yung counter natin ng plus 1. Maglulup po yan hanggang umabot ng equal to 1,000. Then, mag-stop po yung loop. So, this is Visual Basic. So, next, Python. So, Python is parang C language din po. So, count equals to 0. So, ang laman ni count is 0. Then, while count is less than 3, it will print hello kick. So, until it reach equal to 3, magpiprint po siya ng message na hello Greek. So, ito po yung command niya to output that code. So, print. Yung mga una pong sample natin is hello. So, ito po is, naman, magpiprint lang po siya ng hello geek. So, ano po yung magandang gamitin? Tingnan nyo po yung mga codes will be returning to the other codes or programming language. Ayan po si Visual Basic. Ayan si C#. C# is a product of Microsoft. then PHP. So ayun, merong method 1, method 2, but you can create other methods with other programming languages po. Ayan, si JavaScript at si Java. So those are samples in using loop. Then, what are front-end and back-end computer programmers? Okay, a front-end developers work with code to create what user can see and interact with. So, yan po yung nakikita nyo sa computer screen, sa cellphone. Ayan, yan po yung nakikita nyo sa screen. Kung gagamitin nyo po yung Facebook, ayun yung front-end niya po. Kung mobile po yan, yung front-end, yung app na gagamitin is Facebook app. So, yun ang ginagawa ng mga front-end programmers or developers. So, sila yung nag-ano ng user interface. Kahit po sa desktop, so that's the user interface or the application PC, ang gumawa po dun is front-end developers. So, kahit sa web po, kung titingin kayo sa YouTube, i-open nyo yun. So, that is the user interface of YouTube. So usually front-end developers try to minimize the command or tools or other interaction or gustong pong padaliin yung nakikita nyo paano gamitin yung applications. So kung madali pong gamitin, lalo na kung hindi sila computer literate or hindi sila mobile literate, so madali nilang magamit. Kasi po kung maraming mga commands or buttons or settings, minsan, lalo na kung medyo matanda, is nahirapan po. So, ang mga front-end developers is nagpapaganda, nagpapadali sa itsura or paggamit ng application. Okay? So, next, a backend web developer or sabihin natin is backend programmer is a computer programmer who ensures that the website or app behaves the way that it should. The function of backend core code are rarely visible to users. So, yan po yung mga codes na hindi natin nakikita. Instead, backend develop may include tasks such as creating databases to store information. Example, customer details or building out how the app will interact with different servers. So, in layman's term, example po, gumamit kayo ng Facebook. So, gumamit yung magulang nyo. Sa user interface, they are required to create an account. So, lalagay nilang username, last name, first name, middle initial, gender, age, and other information. So, dun po, after putting all those data, you will submit that data and it will go to the backend. That backend usually is a server. So, all our data are being saved into a repository po. So, backend developers are the one who create the codes to execute certain codes para maging ma-save yung mga data or to retrieve data. So, if you log in your account or Facebook account to another device, so i-retrieve niya po yun. That is the work of the backend developer. So, they can create computations, reports. So, they generate those codes. So, tatandaan po, front-end, siya yung nagpapaganda or nagpapadali sa paggamit. Then, sa backend naman, siya yung nag-ano sa mga records. Nagsisave, nagdi-delete, nag-re-retrieve. Then, with those data, they can generate reports or data analytics. Or, they are the ones who make the computer or the application secure. Yan po. So, backend and front-end developers. Usually, meron po tawag dyan kung marunong ka sa front-end at saka back-end. Those are the full stack web developer or full stack. Yan po. So, kung marunong ka po sa front-end at saka back-end, so mas mataas yung sweldo mo. Why is computer programming important? So, computer programming is hugely influential in modern life, but exactly why is programming important? So, bakit daw importante yung computer programming? Take a look around you and consider how many of the things you see have been affected by programming. So, lahat po nakita natin ng mga technological innovation ngayon, ang ginagamit or meron po silang application para magamit yon. Kung bumili kayo ng computer desktop, kung wala pong software, hindi po yan gagana. Anin mo po yung computer kung wala naman siyang Windows operating system, wala siyang Linux operating system, or Mac operating system. So, computer programmer usually are those that develops those applications. Then, smartphones, yan po. Meron nga po kayong iPhone kung wala namang iOS operating system. So, wala rin po kwenta. TV streaming services like Netflix, so those are created using web or computer programming software. Then, medical equipment, yung ginagamit natin po sa sa hospital yan. Currently, yung mga patients po ngayon is makita na record using tablet. Hindi na po nagsusulat yung ibang doktor, lalo na sa US. So, they have their tablet or computer or any mobile devices, then they can access the patient's information and their records or medical records. There is no shortage of modern devices that requires the work of computer programmers. So, we should thank the programmers po to making our life easier, lalo na in terms of education. So, napapadali po yung education ngayon. Entertainment. So, we can be entertained in our room. Pwede tayong gumamit ng mga app in our Android or iOS phone, or we can watch our favorite series or dramas using Netflix, Prime Videos, Apple TV, Disney Channel, with the programming application developed by computer programmers, or minsan tawag nila software developers, software engineer, or web developers po. There is no shortage of modern devices. Yan po. Any devices that we are using is created by software developers or computer programmers. Next, the importance of coding in the 21st century education helps in building confidence. The biggest importance of coding is that it helps in making children more confident. Yes, by creating simple codes or simple instructions, nagiging confident po sila. So, the bolder they get, so nagiging po sila, what if gawa ko ng app para pag pumasok ko sa school, ma-read yung temperature. So, or what if mag-create ako ng attendance, or I want to create a simple games. So, once they have that confidence po, so lalong magiging advance yung bata. Build persistence. Because of the intricacies present in coding, this skill helps to build fortitude and persistence in problem solving. Ayan po. Actually, pag nag-start po kayong nag-programming, hanggat hindi po nararaan na maayos or walang siyang error, naalis yung mga debugs, usually po hindi tumitigil yung estudyante. Nagkaroon ng persistence in their learning. Yan po. Lalo na po kung ang tawag doon, gusto nila rin yung ginagawa. So, they will keep persisting po. Coding as much an art is a science, requiring an eye for detail as well as creativity and process. Open solution take testing and troubleshooting before they work effectively and in a repeatable way. So, in creating a application po, ang pinakamarami po dyan is testing and troubleshooting po. You need to test it extensively para po maging okay po yung application. So, it builds persistence po. Make great problem solver. When they learn to code, they get to understand that there's not only one way of solving a problem, even if their way doesn't work. When their method fails, they learn and apply another method instead of giving up. They improve themselves and stop worrying about their failures. So, what is best in computer programming po is they can or they learn in problem solving po. If they create a code that doesn't exactly match their requirements, so pwede po silang gumawa ng workaround in problem solving. So, in my experience po, one of the barriers I have taken or absorbed in creating a artificial intelligence is getting or creating workarounds. So, yung AI na ginawa ko is for face recognition. Gumamit po ako ng free OpenCV ang tawag niya. So, it's a free artificial intelligence software development kit. Nagra-run, but the problem is the accuracy. So, accuracy is less than 80%. So, in that number, so marami po siyang false positive. So, pag pumasok dun sa loob at detect yung mukha, meron po siyang error. So, nagkakamali siya sa pag-check. So, it's free. So, I cannot complain because wala naman po siyang payment. Then, gumamit naman akong iba. Ang pangalan is TensorFlow. So, TensorFlow is for artificial intelligence and machine learning din po. Ang problema is accuracy is not that high din po. So, with that, so, ilang araw din po akong nag-isip, tumingin ng mga ibang app. So, wala po talaga siyang So, I moved to use a paid software development kit by Ma-Ced Face SDK. So, nagbayad ako ng konti and the accuracy is 93-95. So, I use a workaround to solve my problem. So, hindi na sa paggawa ng mga application, you need to use SDK or API that requires payment. Kasi po pag ginawa mo yon ng mag-isa, medyo mahirap po siya. Okay, they improve themselves and stop worrying about their failures. So yun po, nagiging-improve po ang kanilang pagiging problem solving skills at yun, they become great students. Then, improves academic writing performance. The students will learn to code, also learn how to organize their thoughts in better way. Yan po. In creating application po, kailangan po organize ka. You will not create your reports if you don't have your input data. So, bago ka po mag-create ng mga reporting or data analytics, you need to create or organize your modules. So, before you can create reports, so mag-start muna sa fetching the data using CRUD methods. Pag sinabi pong CRUD, create, read, update, and delete. This improves their thinking and writing skills and support overall academic growth and performance. Ayan po. Kaya importante po yung computer programming in learning. Make them creative. Students learn through experimenting. Yes, majority of computer programmers usually experiments. Sometimes to lessen the codes. In creating application, sometimes nag-start ka sa basic so mahaba yung mga codes. But once you try experimenting on the codes to lessen it or using other methods, so nagiging creative po kayo. Coding is like a brain exercise that helps in opening different dimensions of the brain and allows kids to think for a new perspective. This makes them creative and innovative. They start thinking about out of the box and become more sharp and logical. That's why there is no board exam po sa information technology or science, computer science and information system, because kung wala kang set of skills at knowledge, hindi mo naman pwedeng pasukan yung work na computer programmer. So, computer programmer or software developer, mataas po ang sweldo because you need to learn those set of skills and aptitude para ma-perform mo po yung work mo. Final words, learning how to code can enhance your problem solving skills and critical thinking skills. It allows you to approach tasks and challenges logically and systematically. Coding is also a great tool for creativity, enabling you to design your own projects or website. Yan po, kung mahilig po kayong mag-create ng mga apps, games, or anything, or websites, computer programming is a must know-how. Thank you po. Yun lang po sa aking topic. Thank you, sir.